Buon pomeriggio, beautiful people. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this new series, Target All Areas, where once every other week I'm going to select a part of our body and I'm going to show you how you can work all the muscles from all the angles to maximize how you work out that part of your body. So yeah, I really hope you like it. Today we're gonna start with the shoulders, so make sure to give it a like to this video if you like it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Target All Areas videos as well as workouts and other fun things. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So today, as I said, we're gonna target shoulders, and just to make it easy and simple, we're going to think about our shoulders as having three main muscles, which is the anterior deltoid, the lateral deltoid, and the real deltoid. So we're going to make sure to do all the exercises that maximize hitting each of the three heads. And to do so, I divided this exercise into presses, raises, rows, and face pulls, just to make it more easy and digestible. First, we're gonna start with the presses, which are, I think, the most common and most used type of exercises that people do both at the gym and at home. So if I were at the gym and I had a barbell, I will show you the overhead press. So even though I can't do it because I don't have any barbells here at home, that definitely is one of the main exercises that are used to target both the anterior and the lateral deltoids. So definitely something that you can do at home if you have a barbell of some sort. Otherwise, the other thing which I'm going to do today is the shoulder press. Now you can do this standing, and that will sort of be almost like an overhead press, even though the movement is slightly different and the range of motion is slightly different. But you can definitely do your shoulder press standing. And I would just make sure to, at least at the first times that you do this, if you're new to this, to work on your form and leave your arms at 90 degrees so that your biceps and your triceps are sort of parallel to the floor, and then work your way into increasing the range of motion up to when you go past 90 degrees and you work even more your shoulder when you press up. Another way to do a dumbbell shoulder press is actually leaning. So at the gym, you will do it against a bench, which makes your back more stable, and it makes it so that you can just focus on your shoulders and use the bench for balance. If you're at home, you can do this. You can either use a chair, even though it's not quite as high, or you can sit on the floor and lean against your sofa or a buffet or anything that sits right where your shoulder blades are. So again, it gives you some balance and you can focus on doing your shoulder press with the best form possible without having to think about your balance or staying still. Another variation of the shoulder press is the Arnold press. Now this one, same as with the shoulder press and the overhead press, and as well any other type of presses like the military press, works mainly the lateral and anterior deltoid. However, because you're rotating during the Arnold press, this is actually considered a more efficient and effective way of targeting those heads of the shoulders, because it incorporates the rotation movement on top of the pressing of the shoulder, and so that it really increases the workload on your shoulders. Next, we have another group of exercises that again are really common, and you can really see them, especially when going at the gym, and they're really easy to replicate at home with dumbbells or long resistance bands, and these are raises. Again, because we have three heads or group muscles in your shoulders, there are three different types of raises that you can do to target each shoulder head. So for example, you have the front raises, which you can do again with dumbbells, or you can do them with long resistance band, and this mainly targets the anterior deltoids. And they're really great. You can either alternate one arm at a time, or you can do both at the same time, or you can do any sort of variation to make it more difficult. Similarly, you have the lateral raises, which targets the lateral deltoids, and these, again, as the front raises, really easy to do. Just make sure to have your arms steady and straight, and when you go up on the raise, to hit almost parallel to the floor with your arms. But yeah, really easy. They're great to start targeting your shoulders, especially if you're sort of weaker on the shoulder presses. These are the starting point where you can start building your strength and scale up to more advanced movement like the Arnold press. However, a less common type of raises that not many people do, sort of single out the posterior deltoids, is the rear raises. So these are slightly different because you either have to lean on a bench or you have to lean forward with your body if you don't have a bench available. And it looks a little bit awkward because you have to raise pointing behind you, and it does take a little bit of time to adjust, but is one of the main exercises to be able to target the whole shoulder and have a most complete workout at the end of the day. And it's really something that you shouldn't forget if, as I said, you want to target all areas of the shoulder. So again, similar with any other raises, you can do both arms at the same time. What I would say that, especially if you haven't targeted the real deltoids as much or as often, I would reduce the amount of weight that you use just to ensure that you don't injure yourself, and that again you get progressive overload into higher weights. Another great way to target the real deltoids that is really important are reverse flies. Now these do target as well the back and other muscles, but is considered one of the primary exercises to target the real deltoids, and so I think it's really important to mix it or alternate it with the real raises, again to ensure that you don't forget about the back of your shoulders. Next we have the rows. So in terms of the rows, the most typical and the only one I'm going to talk about today is the up front row. Now, because as you probably can tell with the presses and the majority of the raises, the main workload is on the anterior and lateral deltoids, so the front and the side of your shoulders. So exercises like the up front row is sometimes considered a little bit superfluous because you already have hit those muscles or those areas of the shoulder again and again and again with all the variation of raises and shoulder presses. So this sometimes is an exercise that is skipped unless you're doing specific bodybuilding, and as well it's an exercise that is really prone to injury, and you have to be very, very careful when performing it and not overdo it or not overloading in terms of the weight. So it's something that I do want to mention, but if you've done, as I said, the Arnold presses and you've done the front and lateral raises, I wouldn't worry too much about it, especially if you feel a little bit awkward or if it starts to be painful, and definitely stop before you injure yourself. And finally, we have the face pulls. Now, the face pulls you can do at any angle depending which area you want to focus on. You can do the raising face pulls. You can do them pulling straight into your face or pulling from a higher angle from your face. Now, if you have a cable machine, this is very easy to simulate and it's very easy to do. But if, like me, you're at home and you're limited on the equipment that you have at home, then I would say to just sit down with your feet stretched out, use a long resistance band around your feet, and just do the regular face pulls with the band, just making sure that your elbows are leveled parallel to the floor at an equal distance, and that you really listen to the movement before again injuring yourself. But this is one of those great exercises to again work the rear side of your shoulders and to once again have the most complete workout when targeting the shoulder area. So yes, I hope this video was really easy to understand, relatively quick and insightful. As I said, this is not exhaustive, but this is the main exercise that you can do to target all areas of the shoulders and to have the most complete workout. So I really hope you liked it, and I really hope it was helpful and that it reminded you a few exercises that you probably have forgotten about while working out your shoulders. So if you like this video, then please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more targeted all areas, workout videos, lifestyle and whatnot. And hopefully I will see you next time. Ciao!